Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, from wherever you are around the world, whether you are driving your car, whether you are cleaning your room, doing chores, wherever you may be enjoying this radiocast. My name is Richie. Welcome back to the Call Out Podcast. We're going to talk about the UFC Fight Night results, touch on the couple fights there, and then we're going to highlight UFC 289. Let's go ahead and get right into it. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you are loving the content. All right. So, first fight of the night was Felipe Lins versus Maxim Grishin. And we had Felipe Lins winning this one. He ended up getting it done, 3-round decision. Great dominant performance. And he pretty much did what I thought he would do. The first round, Felipe worked his hands, and even though he got caught a couple times, he weathered through, utilized his wrestling a little bit, and stood dominant to win by unanimous decision. So, great job on that win there. Felipe, you were a slight underdog. Way to get it done. Now, moving on to the next fight I want to talk about. This one was crazy. It was Jamie Malarkey versus Muhammad Naimov. This fight was pretty insane. The first round was looking good for Jamie as he was controlling the fight and working great stand-up. You know, Jamie Malarkey was a minus 500 favorite for all my bettors out there, and Muhammad Naimov was a plus 350 underdog. So first round was looking good for Jamie and all the people that put the minus 500 down on their parlay or whatever they did with that bet. But then second round comes along and Naimov really put his hands together and was finding a home for that straight left. But it was the right hook that he landed flush on Jamie Malarkey's chin. Naimov was against the cage as well. So just great performance, you know, to do that while your back is against the cage. He really let his hands go and it paid off in dividends. And, you know, it was just a good fight just to kind of see. And he had a stadium filled with fans from his country of Tajikistan rooting him on. So just what a great moment there. And he called out the entire division, basically telling them all, hey, putting you on notice, I'm here and I'm a problem. So Muhammad Naimov, big congratulations. Can't wait to see who he fights next and can't wait to see his run for the title. Okay, now we're going to be talking about Tim Elliott versus Victor Altamirano. If you saw this one, this was a really good fight. It was very close. Tim Elliott walked in here as the favorite. Victor walked in here as the underdog. I had picked Victor Altamirano to win this fight, not only because we interviewed him, but it's because I just really believed that he was going to be able to get it done. And he showed really good performance, man. Showed a really good performance. He went out and did what, you know, he was supposed to do. The only thing is that Tim Elliott, man, he just spammed those takedowns. You know, he landed 6 out of 7 takedowns. That was pretty much the answer for the fight there. That's really most of what Tim did. He landed some pretty good significant strikes, but it was all the takedowns. That's it. You know, anytime Victor was having a good run on standing, every time he was letting those hands go, he was catching Tim. He had him hurt a couple times. Tim Elliott said, you know what, I don't want no part of this. I'm going to take you down. And he even admitted in his post-fight interview, said, you know, hey, I had to go old school with my tactics. My weight cut was a little rough, this and that. So, you know, he admits that he had to take him down in order to win that fight. I wish Victor had a little bit better takedown defense, but you can't really blame him. It was the low kicks. You know, he was throwing the low kicks, and Tim Elliott was catching them every time. And when he has your leg, there's really not much you can do. You know, it's not like Tim Elliott was just shooting in and Victor, you know, could whizzer wrist, sprawl. No, like he was catching the leg. And when you catch the leg, it's really hard. It's really hard to like defend it once he has your leg, unless you scramble or do something funky. But, you know, Tim Elliott caught his leg every time. If I was in Victor's corner, okay, I would have told him, hey, man, stop doing the low leg kicks. You know, if you're going to do it, just be mindful that he's going to try and catch it. So maybe fake the low kick and then go high with the strike or with the hook or something. I don't know, man. It was really all the key to victory for Tim Elliott was catching the low kicks and taking Vic down, and that's pretty much it. And even when he did that, Vic Altamirano landed some nice strikes from the bottom. So he wasn't out of this fight, He wasn't out of this fight. He went 3 rounds. He went the distance with a total G in Tim Elliott, who's fought for the belt, who, UFC had plans for this guy. And, just you got to tip your hat off to Victor Altamirano for going out there and doing what he did. Even though he didn't get the win, he still put on a pretty good performance, or a really good performance. It was just he didn't have an answer for those takedowns. However, Victor did land 1 out of 1 takedowns of his own, and that was pretty impressive as well. So I think this fight is, even though he lost, Altamirano, he still got a lot of road left ahead for him. And I'm excited to see who he fights next, and excited to see his run for the title, because I know despite this loss, he's going to climb back, and, he's just going to keep on go. He's going to go. So really excited to see what he does. And, congratulations to Tim Elliott. He fought good. He fought hard. He fought like a veteran. So that was a really good fight. Following that, we had Jim Miller versus Jesse Butler. This fight did not last long. Jim Miller was able to knock him out with a nasty hook in the first round. This was a vicious KO. Butler tried to go out there. He looked like he tried to knock out Jim Miller. Like he was really throwing blows, and then left his chin vulnerable, and Jim just took his soul with that knockout. That was pretty vicious. It went all over Twitter right away, just flooding everywhere. By the way, the Call Out Podcast is on Twitter, so if you have a Twitter, follow us. Give us a follow on the Call Out Podcast via Twitter. We just got on there. We're new in the Twitter game, in the Twitter sphere, so be gentle with us. We're figuring things out, but having fun on Twitter and loving every minute of it. But anyways, so yeah, they had the Jim Miller knockout everywhere, and a lot of the comments, they were saying, retire this, when is he going to retire? And they asked him in the interview, what does retirement look like? And when you're knocking guys out like this, and you're having the success that you're having, it's safe to say that he's on his second wind. And we've seen this with Glover Teixeira, who ended up becoming a champion. We've seen this other times before. I think we need to stop talking about retirement with Jim Miller. We need to stop talking about it. We need to start talking about his run for the title, because, he is near the end. This is the best time. Go for it. Go for one more round. For one more run, for the title. What's the worst that's going to happen? I mean, we got to stop talking about retirement like he's done. He's knocking people out. He's having a great career right now. I feel like he's in his new prime here. So I'm excited to see what Jim Miller does. I want them to give him a good opponent, and someone that can help him climb up and get closer to maybe a title fight, because why not, man? He's been in here for so long, and he's still in it. He's still got it. So, man, that's just my thoughts on that. I think Jim Miller's still in it. Congrats to Jim Miller. Can't wait to see who you fight next. Okay, Alex Caceres versus Daniel Pineda. That was the fight of the night. An absolute scrap. What a co-main event that one was. Alex Caceres, man, he's so dominant. He's so dominant and crafty, and his cardio and his pace. He was just on it. He was just on it today with everything, even with the ground game. Daniel Pineda is tough, though. Daniel Pineda's tough. Alex tried to get him out a couple times. Daniel couldn't. Daniel was still in it. He didn't want to give up. It looked like he was gassing out, but he was still throwing some heavy shots, some heavy leather, and looked like he was going to get Alex Caceres out of the fight there a couple of times. I was jumped out of my seat like, oh my God, this is it. No, we're good. Because we had Alex here. Like we picked Alex, so we were kind of on our edge for that one. But man, he had a dominant performance, did what he had to do. He just too crafty out there, too fast out there. But like I said, Daniel Pineda still dangerous. The power, the heart, and the grappling. What I love the most about these two guys is that they did not let up. There was a couple of parts where they were slowing down, trying to figure each other out. But for the most part, 85%, it was just boom, boom, boom. They're going for submission attempts. They're going for, they're trying to knock each other out. I mean, It was just a really good fight. And if you weren't a fan of either of those fighters before, I know that you became a fan after. So really good fight. If you didn't watch that, go ahead and rewatch Alex Caceres versus Daniel Pineda. Okay, let's go ahead and close this recap with the main event: Kai Kara-France versus Amir Albazi. That was a razor close fight. It ended up in a split decision for Amir Albazi. Man, it was really technical, and Kai Kara-France and a lot of Kai Kara-France fans thought that he won. And looking at this here, looking at the results on UFC.com, looks like Kai had the higher percentage in the total strikes, significant strikes, and a higher percentage of the takedowns. So kind of interesting there. I think what won in the judges' eyes had to been like Amir's pressure, the submission attempt, and just the constant like moving forward. But on paper, it looked like Kai kind of outstruck him a little bit, had a little bit more luck in the significant strikes. He only landed 2 takedowns, but he landed both of them. As where Amir, he shot 9 takedowns, but only landed 1. Kai Kara-France shot 2 and landed 2. So I don't know, kind of tricky here. Me personally, I think I might have to rewatch the fight for a third time because it really is that close. But watching it, seeing the pressure, I think it's Amir. I think Amir did get it split. I love the fact that it was split and not unanimous. So I agree with the decision. However, if it would have gone the other way, I wouldn't have been upset either. So very close fight. Can't wait to see what Amir does. I mean, he's going to make a run for the title now. So let's see who he fights next before he fights the champ. Anyways, that was the recap there for UFC Fight Night, UFC Vegas 74. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and detail a little bit of UFC 289. Who's excited for that? Who's excited for UFC 289? I know I am. And I'll tell you a couple reasons why. The first obvious reason being the main event, Amanda Nunes and Irene Aldana. Irene Aldana is trying to become the 4th Mexican champ. Amanda Nunes trying to defend her belt. Everyone is going after her. And ever since she lost to Juliana Pena, it looks like these guys have a little bit more confidence that they can dethrone the Lioness. But man, it's kind of tough to make a prediction right now. All I know is that fight is going to be a great main event. It's going to be a scrap. The other one that I'm super excited for, this one could be the main event as well. Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. We're going to have to get Rodrigo and Rob on this for this one when we do a prediction this week. Rodrigo's been talking about Beneil Dariush for years and talking about this matchup actually because Charles was the champion at the time. And he just talked about how Dariush, hey man, he's a dark horse. You got to look out for him. He's got the answers, he's got a great fight IQ, and he could be the one to, dethrone the champ. Now, he didn't get to have that opportunity, but he gets to fight him, as a ranked opponent and not as a champ. So we'll see what that does to Charles Oliveira's confidence. The reach advantage is on Oliveira's side. Man, it's going to be a tough fight, man. It's going to be a tough fight. I think Beneil's a little bit tougher, a little bit more headstrong is probably a better way to say that. And his fight IQ is great. I mean, he knows what to do. He knows what to do in certain situations. He knows what tools to use in certain situations. But Charles Oliveira, he's so crafty. He's got crazy submission. This fight is got a recipe for fight of the night. Honestly, it's got a recipe for fight of the night, and yeah, I can't wait. You guys let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about this fight, Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira? And if you have any early predictions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Speaking of fight of the night, the main event, okay? Mike Mallet versus Adam Fugit. This has contention to be fight of the night as well. Mike Mallet, he's this newcomer. He's 9-1, 2-0 in the UFC. His first fight was a TKO win over Mickey Gall, who is a bit of a veteran these days. So very impressive there. And then we have Adam Fugit. We actually interviewed him here on the channel as well. And that dude do not count Adam Fugit out. He is slick. He's dangerous. And he already took out a rising star in Yusaku Kinoshita, who they were pushing really hard. And they thought that he was going to get Adam out there. Adam was a pretty big underdog. And then he was able to knock out Yusaku Kinoshita in the first round. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. What's interesting about Adam's that they just throw him, they're throwing him like these young stars, right? At first they threw Michael Morales, who's a young rising star, someone that they want to market. Then they used Kinoshita, that as another guy from the Contender Series that they wanted to market. They threw him. Adam was able to beat him. And now they're throwing Mike Mallet at Adam Fugit, another rising star. So I don't know what's going on here, why they keep on giving him these rising stars as if like they're using Adam as a chess piece. I don't really know. I don't want to start up any like controversy or anything. It just seems a little fishy to me, but Adam doesn't care. He just wants to fight. He says, you line him up, I'll knock him down. And he's got a 77-inch reach. Mike Mallet, 73. So we got a 4-inch reach advantage for Adam. I can see him just using that jab, just using the range. And I can see him outstriking Mike. I can see him outstriking Mike in this fight for sure. The only thing that scares me is the use of Mike's wrestling. If he can implement that and take Adam down, maybe wear him down against the cage. But even then, you know, even with Mike being as strong as he is, I think Adam can answer just about anything that Mike's going to throw his way. You know, Adam's wrestling is good as well. So, man, this is going to be a great fight. I'm going to root for Adam Fugit all the way, but just looking forward to a really good fight here. And you're definitely going to want to put this one on your calendars. Okay, so UFC 289, those are a couple fights that I'm super excited to watch. And just excited for this weekend. If you guys have any predictions on any fights going down this weekend, let us know in the comment section below, and we will let you know our predictions on Thursday. All of our predictions usually come out on Thursday morning, so please be sure to subscribe. That way you can get notified when we drop that prediction video on Thursday morning. And that's going to pretty much end it. That's going to wrap things up for today. Thank you again for listening to our Radiocast. I really do enjoy doing these. I think they're fun to listen back to. Even I will listen back to them at times because it's fun to drive to work or wherever you're going, or cleaning up your room, cleaning up your kitchen, walking your dog, whatever you may be doing. You just pop in the Radiocast. You just listen to it. You don't even have to look at it. Just listen to it and hear all things MMA. So if you love the content, please please subscribe. We're here every week posting MMA content. So guys, thank you for the support. My name is Richie, and we'll see you on the next video.